energy is first in the pecking order for you. And so just curious, know if let's say an OPEC country like Saudi Arabia wanted to increase its production by a million barrels per day, how long does it take generally for them to bring that on stream? Does it take what, 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 years? How long do you think it will take?
So you still have some excess capacity within OPEC. Saudi sits with, now, maybe a couple million barrels. There's not a lot outside Saudi. And then you've got, sort of Iraq and Iran who have sort of constrained. And so you don't have a lot of capacity there. For Saudi to really go out and add incremental capacity, they've got some fields that they could do it, but it would take 3 to 5 years. An interesting little tidbit is the rig count in the Middle East has actually grown faster than any other place in the world over the last 10 years. And you would wonder why that is. And it's because, these great old giant fields like Ghawar and the others in Saudi, as well as some of the fields in Kuwait, et cetera, I won't say they're at the end of their life, but they're in decline. And so they're needing to, what has happened behind the scenes is that they've kind of furiously brought on this new production to offset the increased water and associated gas and things like that are now cutting into those old, reservoirs that they have. So I think there's the ability of OPEC to do that. The question is, do they want to? And as much as we remember going back, 5 to 7 years where OPEC was sort of the gang that couldn't shoot straight, the amount of discipline that they have shown over the last 5 years in balancing markets and compliance with those cuts has been exemplary. And being able to bring, Russia to the table has been a big deal. And I think Russia is effectively out, even though they're technically producing below capacity. I really don't think there's much there. The fields in most of Russia are really tired and have been overproduced for a number of years. So I think there is capacity for the next couple of years. If you gradually bring back Iran and Saudi can, amp back up a million plus, you can meet the incremental demand for the world and kind of keep a lid on oil prices in probably somewhere in the 60 to maybe 75, $80 WTI range. But I think once you move past that, I think the potential for significantly higher prices, because the lead times to be able to get, either more OPEC or more non-OPEC supply is just too long. And I don't think we could throw the same kind of capital at shale where we could get 2 or 3 million barrels a day out of it, because it would take another $500 billion. And I just don't know who's going to allocate.
Yeah. I like the way you painted the thesis for energy. It looks like it's a generational contrarian opportunity because you're coming off, on one side, a very bad period of exceptionally poor capital allocation in what was, as you said, one of the best bull markets ever. And then you have the whole ESG thing happening where they are even more incentivized not to invest more in the business. So that sounds really interesting. And